Hello everybody, this is Mr. Loy, your friendly D&T teacher, and by now you would have watched the editing basics, editing intermediate, contextual use with or using ICT tools, and now that this is the third training video, and if you can see the title here, it says contextual use with ICT tools, some tips and tricks, Advanced 1. So it suggests that there's going to be Advanced 2, right? Down here you can see. Okay, yeah. Why is this so? Because if I were to pack everything, firstly the recording will take a long time. Number two, it'll be too long for you to watch one stretch. But just to highlight that for training videos, you can always pause, replay, to go through certain segments that you may have missed or you couldn't catch up, okay, or couldn't understand. So the wonderful thing about training video is you can always play back and many times as you want. So let's kick in. So as before, you will need Microsoft PowerPoint. We're going to revisit the snipping tool. All right, you learn that there are four modes: freeform mode, rectangular, window, and full screen. So we are basically going to use freeform snipping mode today. You will also need to access the Tinkercad Drawn Designer Toolkit base design. By now, you would have done up already in your Tinkercad. And just to highlight this, you will need a camera, probably your phone camera. Alright, most of us don't carry a dedicated digital camera nowadays. Alright, everything is so powerful in your mobile device. So that will be in Advanced 2. Okay, so I intend to break up this advanced level training videos into smaller, shorter segments, probably Advanced 1, 2, and 3. So let's get into Advanced 1. So the last time I highlighted here, right, we're going to explore further in Advanced video. So this was the issue here, right? Just a quick recap. The hand is actually copy and pasted from Google Image. This Designer Toolkit base was snipped from Mr. Tan Hong Tee's Designer Toolkit base from Tinkercad. So as you can recall, I try to place this hand as best as I can over here, right? So let me just zoom in for you to have a look. So now you see actually it is not real. Okay, it's not real enough because the why should my middle finger be just resting against the blue body of the handle, all right, of the handle of the steady hand game? What about my index finger and my thumb? So how can I make it more realistic, right? So that's the question, or similar question. How do you remove part of the index finger? All right, in other words, how do I make this index finger appear at the back? Now there are several methods, all right, so we are going to visit two of them. So the first method I can propose is the use of Microsoft Paint. Microsoft Paint, like snipping tool, is a built-in tool in Microsoft Windows operating system. So you can actually make use of its feature, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So first of all, from the previous slide, right, I would suggest that you move the hand away from the Designer Toolkit base. Then when you erase the part of the index finger, it'll be easier lah. Lesser things to erase, so to speak. So what I do is I click on the hand. All right. Of course, you would have actually removed the background already. So so let me just click this hand instead. Okay. So I right click, I choose copy, or you can always use the hotkeys, Control V. And of course it resides in the clipboard. So what you do is you got to click on the Windows icon and look for this icon called Paint. The last time I called it Windows Paint, is it, or Microsoft Paint? All right, doesn't matter. You can always click over here. There's the question mark here. You can actually ask, or rather find out more about tips and tools, getting help, right, in Paint. So as I scroll down, I realize that it is actually Microsoft Paint, and we have Paint 3D as well. Okay, so all the tutorial helps are here. You can actually browse through at your own time. Okay, so there. Okay, Microsoft Paint in Windows. So let's not go there. Let's go to the Microsoft Paint itself. So over here, you just click on the left hand side, paste. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, here is the hand, the same hand. So let me just zoom in. All right, the zooming in and zooming out you can actually do under view. This two magnifying glass, plus for zoom in, minus for zoom out, or at the bottom right corner here you can actually have the plus and minus as well. Okay, now I need to zoom in a bit because I need to erase exactly what I like, which part to erase and things like that. So you click on home, and can you see this eraser tool? It's called eraser. Now when you pull it out, you see there's a square. Now this square size can be changed, all right, depending on how fine your area for you to remove requires. So what you do is you left mouse click and you hold, and then you move the mouse along, for example like so. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm removing part of it. Now it'll be good to press left mouse click and hold, and then you let go, and then you do the erasing for a few more strokes like this. You repeat the steps. Why do I suggest this? Because if you left mouse click and you hold and you erase one shot, okay, and if you actually make a mistake halfway through or in the middle of it, what happens is that when you redo, everything goes back. Okay, so for example, let's say I made a mistake now. I just click redo once. You see, it's only that part of it has been undone for you. Okay, so to speak. So I'm gonna go around here, and I believe it's up to here. All right, and I'm going to let go of my mouse now. I need to cut it through here, and that's it. Okay. Now, of course, you can always go back to the original portion and kind of like have that measurements and things like that. Okay, you can figure your way around to do it. Like I said just now, you could have actually copy and pasted into Microsoft Paint this area, and you erase the part, but there'll be a lot to erase, you see. Okay, so that's why I suggested you just focus on the hand part. So let's say you're satisfied with this. Okay, now that's not the end. You have to save it as a separate JPEG file, for example. And the other thing is when you save, right, this entire white space or canvas will be saved. So when you actually open or insert this picture, right, it will be this entire white space there. So you have to go and come to home and click on select, and you just select this small area will do, and then you let go and you choose crop. See, so this gray area is not the part of the hand image itself. Of course, now then you got to find somewhere to save, so you have to click file, save as, and possibly JPEG, which is not a very large file. Already done so here. Okay, so I'm just going to call it mod 1. Minimize the paint. So what do you do after that? What you do is, I call this slide cooking slide because you're like making it stuff, right? I got a backup here already. Okay, so what you do is you can insert picture from device or from your computer, and you go and find where you last save it as. So just gonna call mode 1, and there you have it. Okay, now of course the white canvas, remember white canvas, so you got to do this step of remove background, and of course you got to go through this so-called step of marking areas to keep, such as the fingernail on the thumb, part of the phalanx here of the index finger. Maybe you would just want to keep this part of the hand, and just double check here. Alright, I'm just going to leave a little gap there as it is. It's not going to affect much. So when you're happy and satisfied, you keep changes. Okay, click on keep changes. So what you do next is, of course, you have to resize it, because just now for some reason you do some zooming in, zooming out, right? So now you got to do the proportionality, right? Okay, and of course you got to be careful where you place the hand, all right, so to speak. Let me zoom in to show you. Okay, remember those rotate and all those stuff. All right, flip horizontal is not necessary here because this is the correct orientation. Okay, so possibly this is where you can place the hand. All right, so this hand mod 1 that I just demonstrated here may not be that good, because you can see this part here I've actually erased. I've actually had a backup. My backup is already here, so it's there. All right, and of course it should be brought to the front like this, because the thumb should be showing. So this is one method. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom up for you to see the effect. Alright, this is more realistic than the intermediate video which I show, right? Because the index finger is also in front of the green handle. So this will be good, right? So this is part of making it more realistic. Okay, and of course if you need to move around objects, remember, don't forget about the grouping. So shift left mouse click to select the objects that you want, and then you right click, you choose group, and you group the objects. Okay, and then it's easier for you to move as a single object, and you can always ungroup later on. So you say this is method 1 using Microsoft Paint. What about the second method? The second method is a little bit like longer way. All right, I feel that Microsoft Paint was the shorter cut, but it doesn't mean that layering and snipping will always be the longer way, because it depends on the situation. All right, and of course you'll be put to the test. All right, you've been watching training videos from me, like this is the third time for contextual use, so probably you will be required to apply your learning, all right, what you have watched the video onto tutorial later on. So the second method here is layer. Remember, layer, you have to send backward, bring forward, bring to front, send to back, you know, that kind of thing. Now we are dealing with two objects, so basically, like I mentioned before, bring to front, bring forward will be the same thing. All right, likewise, send to back and send backward will be the same thing, because you're only working with two objects. In this case, both objects are images. So the first step is what you need to do is you click on this hand, and you right click, and you send to back. All right. So why do I do this? Because just now the method 1, right, was to remove the index finger. So method 2 is you already send to back. That's why your index finger is already taken care of, but your thumb is also behind now. So that's why we need to snip part of the thumb and replace it over here. All right. So we're gonna do this part here. So how are you going to do it? So what you can do is like what I've shown here. You can call out the snip first. Where's my snip? My snipping tool. Okay, so the mode here is going to be freeform snip, but of course you can always what do I mean is that you can always select rectangular snip first. You select this area of interest and focus, and you copy and you paste. All right, so you get something like this. Now why do I want to do that? You want to do that because you want to kind of like see for yourself how you're going to use your freeform snip to select the area of the thumb that you want with the thumbnail. Okay, over here, just to show you. Okay, so what you need is the original hand as well. So what I did was I used rectangular snip to show side by side for me to eyeball and see exactly where I should use my freeform snip. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate now. So I'm going to select freeform snip and new. So you can see the scissors come out. Okay, it's a snipping tool. So basically what you do is you see where you have to start off from, and then you continue. So it's somewhere here, right? Somewhere here. So what you do is you actually move along, and you can see that this vertical green handle, right, this part here goes straight down, so you can come straight down, and your skill is to kind of like match it. Okay, so what you do next is obviously to copy, and what you can do here is to click anywhere in the canvas in the Microsoft PowerPoint slide, and you paste. Okay, hopefully if you can't find it, you have to zoom out lah. Okay, now again when you paste, right, as a white canvas, so you will have to do this step of format, remove background, and I'm going to zoom in and choose the area that I need to keep, which is part of this thumb here. Okay, so let's say this is what I am happy with, so I keep changes, and then what I do is I'm going to move this thumb to here. Okay, and of course this is not of the right size. Okay, so you can see that I'm zooming out and resizing to get the best fit. Now the argument is the snip thumb came from the original thumb, right? So it should kind of like look natural, okay, because of the coloring and contrasting and contouring. So your skill is based on the freeform snip. Okay, as you can see here, this part here may be a little bit off, but you know, from far you shouldn't be able to tell the difference. Okay, so from far. Alright, and of course you can always do this group. So once you group, for example, I'm just going to group the hand and the thumb. Okay, I exclude the designer toolkit base, so right click and I group. Okay, becomes one entity really. Alright, okay, so you can actually do that. Alright, so of course I realized that if I were to do the bring to front and send to back, the same thing happens again. So once you're happy, alright, just leave it as it is, and then save the file and then do the print. Okay, so of course you can always ungroup, alright, but for me I'm just going to undo the steps. Okay, so I believe there's a backup here for me. Yeah, see, this is the backup. Alright, so this is the backup thumb here to place it over there. Alright, so you can see it's quite natural, right? So let's do a quick recap of what we have done. How do we remove the index finger in this case? Alright, we explored two methods. The first method is to use Microsoft Paint. In short, you basically copy the hand, and if you wish, you can actually have the part of the handle as well, and then you compare both. You can do the print screen, and then you paste it into Microsoft Paint, and then you remove all the unnecessary things. Okay, let me just demo. For example, I do a print screen. I use the keycap on the laptop, and I go to Microsoft Paint, and I do a file new, and I paste. You pasted everything. Okay, so obviously you don't want everything, right? You just want your focus here. So the difference between just now and now is that you are going to do the select crop and you focus on this. Okay, of course you can zoom in and you work on, repeat the same steps as what I've demonstrated in method 1 just now. Okay, so you can actually compare, alright, and erase the index finger accordingly, right, like so. Okay, especially this part here, right? So you can actually really look at how you curve in, you know, that kind of thing, and remove. Okay, and of course a quick reminder is do not left mouse click and hold and erase one shot. It's good to release once you do a bit of cleaning, so when you have to undo, right, you don't go all the way back to original, okay, if you make a mistake. So just to show you this. Then the second method I demonstrated is to first do the layering meaning either you bring to front, send to back, and things like that. So our focus for method 2 is on the thumb. Alright, method 1 was on removal of the index finger. So you decide which method is suitable, and you may have actually discovered other methods as well, so please do share, right? This is a learning process. So in method 2, you send to back the hand. What happens is that the index finger disappears, the thumb also disappears, so you have to have another picture of the hand, and you use this snipping tool. The mode is freeform snip, and you can actually do a side-by-side comparison how to do the freeform snip of the part of the thumb that you want to keep, and of course you have to remove background after you paste it, and you resize, okay, to fit the image again. So you have actually learned quite a bit so far, from basics to intermediate to advanced 1. So it's time for you to demonstrate whether you have actually learned. Okay, so how do I know my students have learned? Alright, the only way is to see how you apply on an assignment, okay, such as this tutorial 1. So what is this tutorial 1 about? Let me explain. During lesson, all right, if we next meet for D&T lesson, we can actually take this through. So I'm kind of like flipping this around again. You have actually watched the three training videos thus far, and this is a chance for you to try out. Okay, you can use your mobile device, your laptop, or your desktop at home first. You try to find these images. I'll show you how later, and I'll send you a PDF of this tutorial as well, so you can quickly refer to it. Now, so this is the instructions. Use the given URLs. URL stands for Universal Resource Locators. Below to search for the items shown below. So we have a colorful water bottle. So this is what I mean. All right. I don't know if I send you in PDF whether you can still select this, but just it's not very long. The URL you can actually type carefully. All right. I think it's case sensitive. I'm just going to show you this. Once you type it in, or I don't know whether in PDF you may have Adobe Suite. You can actually copy and paste. So I did a Control C. So I'm going to go to this part here, the browser. So up here in the search, you just Control V, and you click left click. You should be able to find this image. Okay, so this is for you to on your own time in laptop, mobile device, or desktop, right, to find this colorful water bottle. And what you do is you right click and then you choose copy image. All right, then you actually work on your PowerPoint. So of course the results show for the hand as well, and the water bottle holder. Right, this is a special magnetic water bottle for fitness equipment. So anyway, so let me go back here. So this is how you can actually find these two items exactly. Okay, try not to use alternative, because the test here is to see every one of you in the class whether you can follow, apply the steps that you have learned, the so-called your skills. All right, how you think through what are the steps to do. Do you forget or remember certain things, such as removal of background and so on and so forth. Now you realize that this bottle here is smaller. All right, if I were to bring to front, all right, you realize I did not remove background, right? So and just now previously the bottle was behind, right? So obviously this bottle holder was the second image that I copy and pasted from Google Image. So you actually learned something already, all right, without actually knowing. So what is the first instruction? Apply what you have learned from basics to advanced 1 to place the bottle here into the magnetic fitness water bottle holder here. All right, take note, actually is open below, but it has a strap. Okay, so this is the added challenge for you. Okay, you can resize, but must be proportionate for the final outcome. So obviously you can see this fitness water bottle holder is larger than the water bottle on the left itself. So what you need to do is you have to do a bit of resizing. Okay, so first and foremost, a hint for you is to remove the background. Okay, so always go for format, click on object, format, remove background. Okay, so do that, right? And then you need to know what to do. Okay, so this is the first task. Okay, so your final outcome should be this bottle placed inside. All right, of course it's not as easy just putting this bottle there, right? Okay, you have to like conceal part of it here, do the proportionality check and all those things. Okay, so it's not straightforward, but think about it. All right, and you can always revisit the basics to advanced 1 tutorial. Now what if you have achieved tutorial 1? All right, so this is your next challenge. Is actually a follow-up. All right, after you have achieved the desired outcome in tutorial 1, which is to place the color water bottle into this water bottle holder, use this hand. All right, URL is given here to show it placing the bottle into the bottle holder. All right, I don't know how. All right, you may want to do a bit of rotate and stuff like that, resize, of course, remove background and so on and so forth. Just take note that you need only manipulate this hand. You don't need to take out the bottle from the bottle holder. Okay, meaning that the bottle is already inside the water bottle. You just show how the hand place it in. Okay, I'll take it out. All right, now you realize that this hand here, okay, we're going to use this. It may not fit. All right, it may the open palm may be bigger wider than the circumference of the water bottle itself. Okay, it doesn't matter, just for practice. I just so this is a lead into Advanced 2, of course. So just make use of this and don't forget to apply what you have learned so far. Okay, so the challenge is to show that this hand is able to be part of this edited image, placing the bottle into the bottle holder. Alright, so let's see what we have. Okay, before Advanced 2 comes out, please attempt the 2 tutorials. Alright, tutorial 1 should be quite straightforward. Tutorial 2 may be a little bit challenging for you. You know, got to do steeping and stuff like that. So let's see how you do it. Okay, so what you can read here is now is your turn. Okay, so all the best in your contextual use exploration before we meet face to face again in our upcoming D&T lesson. So of course, when we next meet face to face, you are going to demonstrate this. Okay, so if you can, this is my suggestion. Work on this. All right, I'm going to send this to you in PDF. Work on these 2 tutorials, and then you save it in your thumb drive and bring it to school. Now, on the forthcoming D&T face-to-face lesson, please bring your mobile phone. All right, we need that, and your phone cable. All right, you may not need to bring your charger, your adapter, and things like that, but minimally your data cable. Okay, you may need to connect it to school laptops. So at this juncture, there's nothing much for me until Advanced 2. This is Mr. Loy signing off. See you soon. Bye bye.